It's time for a buddy read. Oceana at Oceana Gotta Read 'Em All and I have decided to do a buddy read for the month of June. Not really sure when we'll get it finished, but we've kind of got it set on about 5 chapters a day since this book has really small chapters. And you probably already know from the title, but we are reading The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Yeah, I said this in my TBR video, but I tried this one in winter and I think it had an F word in like the first few pages, and that really threw me off, so I stopped reading it. But I'm really hoping that that might be just a one-off and the rest of the book is fine, hopefully. But let's get started. So I sectioned off what we are going to be reading in The Night Circus because we're reading 5 chapters a day. So yeah, I've got that sectioned off. It looks like it should take us 11 days. I've already read today's, or I guess the first chunk of 5 chapters, and I've started the second chunk. And I don't know, like I'm on page 40 and there's a kind of a lot of issues I have with it. Like there is that first F word, and there is talk of like tarot cards and mediums, and there's like some child abuse from a dad to his daughter. And I don't know, I'm just not loving this, and so we'll see. I'll have to see what Oceana thinks. Plot twist. So Oceana and I discussed The Night Circus. We discussed a little bit of what we didn't like about it, and I think we've both decided we are not willing to give this a try. I guess I will just speak for myself and say it was just too tarot card medium. I don't know, it just felt really dark in a way that just wasn't willing. So I will be unhauling this guy, which is really unfortunate because everybody loves this book and it's really pretty and the hardback is gorgeous. But yeah, doesn't pay to keep a book if you're not willing to read it, right? So I'll be unhauling this one. So we have discussed where this readathon is going yet. We do still have A Curse so Dark and Lonely on our radar. She's just waiting for it to come in to her library so she can grab it. But in the meantime, we're going to be trying Graceling by Kristen Cashore. She had access to this one and I had access to this one, so it kind of was like, let's just try this one. She, I think, already managed to start and I haven't because it's been busy here, and today is going to be no different. This weekend is going to be crazy, so I'm going to be doing my best. But I am looking forward to this one. I have heard good things about it a little bit on BookTube. It's not really raved that highly, but a few people I've heard or seen it on the shelves. So I don't really have too many expectations of this one, but looking forward to trying something new. Good morning. So I'm just here cozy in my hoodie, and I've got another plot twist for you. So Oceana and I have been discussing what we want to be reading here for our buddy read. And she texted me yesterday and she was like, her ebook for A Curse so Dark and Lonely came in early. And so we decided to scrap Graceling and go ahead and start A Curse so Dark and Lonely. So this is going to be the new buddy read pick. This is a little bit of an adventurous buddy read, but anyway, we are going to start this one. And so I'm gonna start it here this morning. So I really haven't updated you guys on our readathon here. We are actually on chapter 23. So that is almost halfway. And it's going really good, actually. So it's Beauty and the Beast retelling, but it is like the beauty. What's her name again? I should know this. Harper. Harper is from like modern day DC, and through an event that happens, she is like, it's almost like magically transported into this fantasy world, I guess. I'm not really sure. And that's where the beast and the curse and all that stuff is. So, yeah. Harper's really quirky and fun and like strong-willed and high-spirited, and she's really caring and kind of acts before she thinks, but she's got a good heart. The Beast, I think, is as well. I think he's one of those, he might fall into the stereotype of like, he's rough around the edges, but he's has a softy at heart kind of thing. That sounds like that's what he's, the kind of character he is going to be. If I remember correctly, it's been very clean, I think. The Beast has a bit of a promiscuous past, so that gets brought up a little, but yeah, it seems like so far so good in that regard. One of the things I wanted to mention was I feel like Harper, she adjusts too easily, too seamlessly to this fantasy world. Like, if I was just all of a sudden taken from my current world and dropped into a fantasy world, I think I'd have a harder time adjusting than she seems to be having. So I feel like that was maybe, I'm not going to say the word realistic because this is a fiction fantasy story, so it's not realistic, but I think you guys know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. If it continues to go this way, I will totally want to be reading the second one. So, good morning. So, all morning I have been reading A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and Oceana and I have been texting this morning about it and trying to figure out how far we want to be reading and what we think of it. And I am just like on a roll. Like, I just can't even seem to put it down. And she has expressed that she felt a little bit similar to that as well. So I'm just gonna have a little snack here. I made myself a little sandwich, an egg sandwich, and I'm gonna read some more of this while I eat, and then I need to get outside and mow the lawn. I was supposed to do that this morning earlier, but this book distracted me. So yeah, it's just a really interesting retelling of Beauty and the Beast. There's really not a whole lot I want to share that wouldn't be considered spoilers, because I mean, you know the story of Beauty and the Beast, the bones of the story, and this takes a modern element, Washington DC, modern day, with the fantastical element of this different world. And yeah, I guess it comes down to the beauty, Harper. She has to, I guess, kind of decide who she wants to save, the kingdom in this fantasy world or her mom and brother in the real world. And on the offset, just saying that, it sounds like it would be an easy answer, but the way that the story is written and the things that have been going on, it is a a harder decision than she would have otherwise thought. So I'm gonna leave it there and hopefully get some more reading done and then get outside to mow the lawn. So we finished A Curse So Dark and Lonely, and it didn't take us nearly as long as I thought it would. It is fairly thick. I can give you an actual page count, just a sec. It is 477 pages with an epilogue. The epilogue's not very long, but yeah, so it's almost what they consider a tome, which is a 500-page book, but it's a good one. I like this one. I've kind of recapped it already for you guys. The ending, I felt a little about. I'm not going to share spoilers or anything, but the ending is kind of like twofold. There's two elements to the ending. One of the elements I didn't see coming and I really enjoyed, and one of the elements it just was not very satisfying and was kind of flat. So yeah, a little divided on the ending there, but I know that Oceana has really enjoyed it, so I'm gonna leave her channel linked down below. You should definitely go check out her video, as she has read A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. I am going to rate it a 4-star. The ending, overall, this book is quite clean. I will say that closer to the end, the last number of chapters include a bit more language, which I was disappointed about. And just fair warning, there is some bloody, gory scenes described, so I guess just be aware of that. And the biggest thing that I want to tell you guys about this book, it's in first person. Like, what? I read a 477-page book, first person, in a matter of, like, I don't even know how long it took us. A week, was it? I think it was a week or so, something like that. So it was really short and it was in first person, so I'm not sure what's going on. I know that right off the bat, when I started this book, the first person element did take me out of the story quite a bit, and I had to reread pages because I found myself like just not being able to focus properly. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm learning to enjoy the first person thing. I don't know. I still would have, because this switches perspective between the two main characters and even one side character, I think. I still don't enjoy first person. I don't like the way that is formatted. I also think first person books need to focus on one person, and it needs to be something that has a lot of internal dialogue. Like, for example, let's say the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks, let's say that movie was a book. Like that movie would benefit from being in first person, I think. But like just a regular story, fairy tale, whatever, I don't know. I just don't see the merit in first person. Maybe it'll grow on me yet. We'll see. But overall, I liked A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I really enjoyed the experience of buddy reading this book with Oceana. And yeah, I think we've kind of decided to give the second one a try as a buddy read as well. But it'll be a few months yet before we can both get our hands on it. But yeah, so excited. This was fun. I hope you guys had fun, and let me know if you have read this book or if you are now interested in it because of this review. Keep in mind, I do have a Goodreads review as well, so check that out too. So I hope you guys all have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!